Dear students, let's start lecture number 7 on the topic mobile ad hoc networks of the course Advanced Network Security. This is our outline. First of all, I'll make comparison between wireless and wired networks, then types of wireless networks, including infrastructure and infrastructureless network, types of wireless networks, features of ad hoc networks. Then I'll be explaining what the MANET is, working of MANET with the help of a diagram. Then I'll be explaining working of MANET with the help of a flow chart. Then uh, I'll be explaining characteristics of MANET, application of MANETs, and finally I'll be explaining pros and cons of MANET. So let's start with the comparison between wireless and wired network. Uh, as far as freedom of movement is concerned, user can access the network from anywhere within the range of that wireless network, whereas in wired network, user location limited by need to cable and connect to a port. As far as sharing of file is concerned, easier in wireless network, though the file transfer may be slower as compared to wired, where in wired have to be cabled in. Transfer speed often faster than wireless network. Cables in wireless network, they are less complicated, less disruptive, and less untidy cabling are needed, whereas in wired, lots of cable and ports are needed. In business prospect, customer like and often expect wireless because it increases their income, whereas in wired network, not convenient for public use sometime acceptable for a traditional use. Connection speed, as far as connection speed is concerned, wireless network, they are slower, and wired network, they are faster as compared to wireless network. As far as security is concerned, they are wireless network, they are less secure than wired, whereas wired network, they are more secure. uh, as far as setup is concerned, easier and cheap to set up wireless network, whereas a wired network can be difficult and expensive to set up. uh, Reliable, wireless network, they are less reliable than wired networks. These are the types of wireless network. So there are two types of wireless network: infrastructure network and infrastructure less network. So this is the first type, which is called infrastructure network. In this infrastructure network, as you see, you have a backbone and access point already available, and now this is your service area where two devices are available, like A and B, and they are communicating. uh, Similarly, if you have some other service area, so this will be connected the same way as the service area one who was connected. So if A wants to send the message to B, so it will be sending message through this backbone. So infrastructure is of will be available for such kind of network. That's why this kind of network, they are called infrastructure network. Whereas in infrastructure less network, there is no infrastructure available. Like you can see here, we call such kind of network are ad hoc networks, because in such kind of network you don't have any kind of backbone or infrastructure available. So each node is connected with another node directly or indirectly for sending their messages. So that's why they are called infrastructureless network. These both are the type of wireless networks. So in wireless, you have infrastructure wireless network, or in a wireless, you have infrastructureless infrastructure less network. So ad hoc network is basically the example of infrastructure less network, because you don't have any backbone or infrastructure available, and each node is connected directly or indirectly for their communication with other nodes. Now, features of ad hoc network, as you saw in previous slide, that we had two kind of networks, infrastructure and infrastructure less network. So ad hoc network, they are example of infrastructure less network actually. So features of ad hoc networks, so they are expensive equipment isn't necessary for for infrastructure less network, because each node have to connect with another node directly or indirectly, so you need not to deploy any expensive equipment there. No single point of failure, because the network is distributed, no central control is available, so that's why no single point of failure. Useful to share file, as anybody can share file without uh, going to take permission from central body or a control. Suitable for emergency situations. More than one laptop or a mobile can be configured. Adapter card, these are the features that how they will be connected, like you have adapter card configured for ad hoc mode, and then you have a same SSID if you want to connect, and this is the range that maximum 100 meter one node can join another node directly or indirectly. Can be used to share internet with another computer. Normally we use such kind of network for the sharing of internet. No central management, but all devices are controlled. As we don't have central control available in such kind of network, I am taking example of infrastructure less networks. So there is no central control available, but how we control, each node is responsible for maintaining that maintaining that control, or to do the job of central activity. So all the nodes, they are responsible. These are the types of wireless ad hoc networks. So there are different types, like mobile ad hoc network. Now, as the name indicate, it uses for mobile devices. Vehicular ad hoc network, they are used for vehicular communication, or for the communication of vehicles. um, a smartphone ad hoc network, create one smartphone using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Wireless mesh network, nodes communicate each other directly to relay information through the network. Wireless sensor network collect everything, like you have a different kind of sensors, and they connect each other directly to send their information to another node. So they will be from temperature, pressure reading to noise and humidity level. So there are, as you know, that there are different kind of sensors, so each sensor has its own job. So each sensor will be sending its data to another sensor, and another sensor will be routing that information to the next node or to the base station. Disaster rescue and ad hoc network, DRN, important for temporary communication. For example, if you have any kind of disaster anywhere, so you can deploy such kind of network temporarily. Established communication hardware isn't work properly, you can deploy them where as per your demand or need. This is working of MANET, that how MANET works. Here you can see that we have a node, and this node has this transmission of communication range. B has this communication range, and C has this communication range, and DS. So each node has its own communication range, as we have seen in previous slide, that for ad hoc network, what you need, you need adapter in which you configure your configure that adapter in the mode of ad hoc network. Then you need same SSID, and finally you finally is the range, which is normally considered as 100 meter of range. So each node can communicate another node within the 100 meter range. So each node had its own communication range, so you may call this range as a 100 meter. So for example, if A wants to send the packet to B, so how it will be, how this process will be performed. So as A is sending the packet to B, as it shares the uh, ranges of F, A will be sent, so the packet will be received both by A and F. Why? Because as they have wireless medium, and wireless medium has the feature of broadcast feature. So if A wants to send the message to B, so it will be broadcasted both to F and B, because their communication range, they are shared or overlapped. So this way, when B will be sending, the same will be message will be received by C and F. And because F is sharing the communication range of each node, so as they are in wireless medium, so they will be broadcasted to each node. So this is how your data reaches to your base station, or your end device, that is called gateway. And from the gateway, this data will be sent to the some other network or the internet. From there, the data will be sent to far away where you want to send that data. So this is how a MANET works. Now I'll explain working of flowchart with the working of MANET with the help of a flowchart. You can know. So first, you can see that we have a start. So start, you start the signal of each node, or you configure each node, like we have seen in a previous slide, that you have a different kind of devices, and each is configured in ad hoc mode, and they have the same SSID. So this is how they will be started. Then node sends the signals to find another, so each node will be tracking or searching another node. Then they will be synchronized, that once they find or overlapping of different wireless ranges, so they will synchronize each other. Then they send each node sends message to their receiver. And now there is a decision, that is receiving node ready. So if this is ready, so receiving node sends the back ready signals, and communication begins. If not, so it wait for some time, if no device is ready. And then transmission will be performed, and finally reaches to end. So this is how MANET works. Now, what the MANET stand for. There are different kind of names. Normally, we used to name MANET, like mobile ad hoc network, wireless ad hoc network, ad hoc wireless network. These are the names of MANET. So mobile MANET consists of set of nodes. So they are connected wirelessly in self-configured and self-hearing, without having a fixed infrastructure. They this as I have already mentioned, this is ad hoc network, or infrastructure-less network. So there is no fixed infrastructure available for such kind of nodes. So how they will be connected wirelessly in a self-configured means, automatically adapt to configuration. And self-hearing means problem solved without human intervention or human involvement, because no human will be involved in such kind of a network. Like you see that we have four nodes here. So as I explained in my previous example, that when when all these four get ready, they search each other, then they synchronize, then they start sending messages to each other once they get ready. So this network will be formed, and this network does not need any human intervention. So we call human intervention, or they adapt the configuration setting directly. So we call them that this is self-configured and self-hearing network. uh, Mobile, so these managed nodes, they are free to move, because they can come and join the network, and they can leave the network. So they are free to move, adopt topology moves frequently. So definitely network topology moves frequently as you nodes are leaving and joining the network. So topology will be changes dynamically. So each node behaves as a router. As you know that each node process its own for information and send the information to the next node. So we call it as a router, because we don't have router available in such kind of a networks, because as we said earlier that this is infrastructure less kind of a network. So you don't have any infrastructure available. So what is so each node has to do the job of router as well. So each node behave as a router, forward traffic to other specified node in the network. So MANET operates in a standalone fashion, like each node has to perform its own job and forward the packets of other nodes, or its own packet to the next node. Acha. Part of a larger internet, form highly dynamic autonomous topology. One or more transceivers between the nodes, because sending and receiving both, this is done by each device. So this transceiver means sending and receiving device. Main challenge of MANET is equip each device to continuously maintain the information required to properly route the traffic, because each node has to maintain the information of all the routes, because each node has to perform the job of the router. And and how router works, that router maintains the information of all the routes. So now there should be a mechanism that each node has to maintain the information of their neighbors, so that using that information, that node will be sending information to the next node. uh, Consist of peer-to-peer network, as all nodes they are same. There is no router, all they are same. That's why they are called peer router. Self-forming, this form by its own. Self-hearing, so there is no intervention of user or a human. So this network will form in such a way that each node has to work autonomously and connect with each other to send its information to next node. Typically communicate, this is the communication range, that in what will be the communication range in which that node will be can send its data to the another node if it's fine. Dynamic characteristics of these are the characteristics of many dynamic topology. Means multi as the nodes are connected with each other, so they will be having multi-hop communication fashion. They will be sending their information to other, change randomly and rapidly with time, because each node can join and leave network anytime. So topology can be random and rapidly changes with time, uh, and they can form unidirectional or bidirectional links for sending and receiving their information. Bandwidth constraints, so variable capacity links, they are available. Wireless links, they are uh, lower in reliability, efficiency, stability, and capacity as compared to wireless network. uh, Throughput of the wireless network is less than the radio's maximum transmission range. After dealing with the constraints like multi-access, noise, interference, consolations, etc. Autonomous behavior, so each node work as a host, a router, and shows autonomous behavior as I mentioned earlier. So each node will be performing its job, like it will be host sometime, it will be router, and sending information to the next hop, because there is no human intervention or administrator invention available in such kind of networks. Energy constrained operations node rely on battery or other extensible means. Mobile nodes have, as normally mobile nodes have less memory, less power, and lightweight features as compared to wired devices. Limited security, more prone to threats because there's no central administrator or control or devices are available. Not having centralized firewall, as you know, due to centralized nature of decentralized nature of operation. On the one side it has advantage that this is more flexible and robust, but on the other side there is less security, and less security available in such kind of networks. Less human intervention, require less human intervention, dynamically autonomous in nature. These are the applications, as the nodes are, they are portable and can be deployed temporarily in any location, and they are decentralized. So because of a decentralized, they are more robust and flexible. There are different kind of applications which are available for such networks. Like you can deploy it for road safety, like you have a sensors which works in environment, at home, or for health management, or a health tracking or monitoring system. uh, Disaster rescue operation like fire, flood, or earthquake, you can deploy network for rescuing operation. Like this also be deployed for air, land, navy, and defense mechanism like weapons or robots. They can be the application of such kind of networks. Prawns of this network: there is no central administrator available, no expensive infrastructure must be installed, they are less costly because no firewall or no infrastructure structure is needed for such kind of network. Set up in no time. Each node play both the role of a host and a router, so and then can send their information in a multi-hop fashion. Autonomous in nature, self-configure and self-hearing network, and this is scalable as well. Scalable means that you can increase the number of your node as much as you require, so you can increase without considering any kind of mechanism. uh, Cons of MANET: so resources are limited, as resources are mobile on one side, and they have resources limitations, like uh, they have limited battery or limited processing. So due to various constraints like noise, interference and interference conditions. They can affect your network, and lack of authorization facility available, and prone to more prone to attacks as compared to other network like wired networks. These are the sources which I have cited. You can please visit those sources to find more about this topic. If you have any question, you can ask me through KCMS or WhatsApp, or you can email me. You can find my email address listed at the bottom of this slide. You can email me your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. With that, with that, uh, it brings us to end of this lecture. Till next lecture, Allah Hafiz.